This was the biggest diplomatic crisis of the Duterte administration involving the West Philippine Sea. This is FB GemVer, a Philippine fishing boat based in San Jose, Occidental Mindoro. In June 2019, it sailed to Rectabank, carrying 22 fishermen. Before midnight on June 9, a Chinese vessel rammed its rear and then abandoned the Filipino fishermen. It happened in Rectabank, which is within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. This means the Chinese shouldn't have been there in the first place. The fishermen thought they were going to die, but they saw a light from afar. GemVer's captain ordered 2 fishermen to paddle to it. They were the Vietnamese who then rescued the Filipinos. The GemVer fishermen radioed the Coast Guard about what happened and were later rescued. The Philippine Department of National Defense announced the incident 3 days after the sinking. The Philippine Defense Secretary and Foreign Affairs Secretary condemned it. China called it an ordinary traffic incident, claiming that the Chinese boat tried to help but was besieged by 7 to 8 Filipino boats. Imagine, Filipinos on a wooden boat paddling their way to battle Chinese on a metal ship? But satellite images proved China wrong. It took almost a week until President Rodrigo Duterte spoke up. When he did, he echoed China's line. He said it was only a little maritime incident. Banggaan lang daw ng mga barko. After Duterte's speech, China said its fishermen were in fact not swarmed by Philippine boats. The question then was, did the Chinese intend to ram the Filipinos, and why did they abandon them to the open seas? The Philippines and China agreed on a probe. Its results? The Chinese failed to do enough to avoid the risk of collision and help Filipinos in distress. To top it off, the sea was calm that night, weather was fair, visibility was slightly clear, and GemVer complied with all regulations to make sure accidents don't happen at sea. Once back home, it took over 5 months and at least 2 million pesos to repair GemVer. The fishermen and GemVer's owners did it all on their own while trying to recover from their ordeal. Some decided to stay on land, while others returned to sea. It was the only way to make a living. Before Duterte's trip to China, the Chinese publicly apologized and offered to pay GemVer's crew for their losses. The Filipinos waited 3 years and got only half of what they asked for. And until now, Filipinos are still at risk of collision with the Chinese in the West Philippine Sea. China continues to expand while the Philippines continues to lose ground in the West Philippine Sea.